What's going on, my Century Unit? It's the Sentiment here, so back again with another WCW pay-per-view review, the first one in months. It's been a long time since I review a Fall Brawl pay-per-view. I think it's been 4 years since I last reviewed a Fall Brawl show. The last Fall Brawl show I reviewed on this channel was Fall Brawl 1995. So today I'm going to review Fall Brawl 1994 War Games. So this show was at the I'm gonna butcher this place. My apologies. Roanoke Civic Center. Right now it's called the Berglund Center in Roanoke, Virginia. On the 18th of September 1994. The attendance of the show was 6,500. Fall Brawl 1994 received about 115,000 pay-per-view buys. It's an upgrade than the first Fall Brawl show from the previous year in 1993. Fall Brawl 93 drew about 95,000 pay-per-view buys. This show was the first show after the first Bash of the Beach show. It's a drop-off in buy form, because Bash of the Beach 94 drew about 225,000 pay-per-view buys. This show drew about 115,000 pay-per-view buys. I think it's a drop-off by about 100. I'm guessing 110,000 buys. It's just what it is. By the way, this show has no Hogan and Flair. I'll get to more of that later on. Anyway, the commentators for Fall Brawl 1994, we got Tony Schiavone and Bobby the Brain Heenan. So, the first match, before we get to the first match of the show, let's do a quick result in the dark match. The dark match, we had the Armstrong brothers defeat Steve Kern and beautiful Bobby Eaton. Brian Armstrong, by the way, is the future Road Dogg Jesse James in the WWF. That'd be like years later. And also he's the roadie. That'll be 1 year later when he was at the World Wrestling Federation. Anyway, so the first match to kick off Fall Brawl 1994. This is for the Television Championship. First of 3 championship matches on the show. We got the TV title, the United States title, and the WCW Tag Team titles. The World title is not on the line. Like I said, Hogan is not on the show. I'll get to more of that later on. Anyway, so we got Lord Steven Regal, the title holder. Yeah, the champion, I'm trying to say. I'm a bit, I went to bed 1 o'clock. My mind's not 100% right. It's not, I'm a bit tired. But anyway, so Lord Steven Regal, the champion, with Sir William in his corner. Sir William is Bill Dundee, defending the belt against Johnny B. Bad. They fought for the belt for months now. They fought at Bash of the Beach, So this is self-proclaimed the rubber match of this feud over the title between Johnny B. Bad and Lord Steven Regal. Anyway, this match was good. I think both Steve Regal, aka William Regal, and Johnny B. Bad, Mark Merrow, they got some good chemistry. It's a good back and forth match. It was good technical style, match style match, and it kind of peppered in a lot of high flying spots by Johnny B. Bad. I think almost crushing Sir William in the process. He did trying to help Regal retaining the title. Choking Johnny B. Bad with the cane. And one more in the match, and I think Regal did like a roll-up, and then, Sir William kind of used the cane as some leverage, but the referee kicked the cane out of his hand. Anyway, so I think, in the end, Sir William, his plans kind of backfired. In the end, Johnny B. Bad rolled up Lord Steven Regal for the win, to win the television title for the first time. This is Johnny B. Bad's first title in his career. He's been in the company since 1991, and this is the first of 2 championships he won, for the TV title. First of 2 before he left the company in 1996. So yeah, it's about 11 minutes, but I think they told a good story, good back and forth. didn't really shit the bed, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna say about Johnny B. Bad. Well, Mark Merrill, underrated. He's he's one of the most underrated guys in the company. Doesn't get any credit. He's really good in the ring. Maybe personality kind of hurt, like held him back. When he's in the WWF, like pushing Sable instead of him. But I don't know. I think there's something that really held him down, and that's why he's never get past the card. He's just I think he was kind of like a mid carder for life. It's just a sad reality. In this match, he kind of thwarted Sir William, trying to help. He kind of helped Regal win and helped him to retain the titles for. I think he held the belt for one whole year. I check it right now. Before we get to the next match, 1993. Yeah, it's been 1 year because Regal won the belt at the first Fall Brawl the previous year, and then 1 year later he ended up. Actually, no, I'm lying. Sabisco won it in May. My apologies. So yeah, he won it at the first. He won it at the first Fall Brawl show. His first. I think it was his first title in WCW for Regal. Now yeah, Sabisco won it in May, and then Regal won it for the second time at the Clash of the Champions show in June, and now Big Bad. Yeah, he ended up won the title at this Fall Brawl. So yeah, I'm trying to check who's the previous champion. I thought it was one whole year, but nope, it was Regal, then Sabisco, then Regal again. Now Johnny B. Bad. He ended up holding the belt for, I think it was about 3 months now, or 3 or 4 months, until dropping the belt to Arn Anderson on an episode of Main Event. So anyway, it was a good way to kick off the pay-per-view. So move on to the next match. So the next match is a losers leave WCW match. So Kevin Sullivan with his kayfabe brother Dave Sullivan in his corner, taking on Cactus Jack, aka Mick Foley. They were a tag team. They were a tag team for months now. I think they were the tag team champions. I think at Bash at the Beach, Sullivan and Foley, aka Cactus Jack, they dropped the tag team titles to the Pretty Wonderfuls. That's Paul Roma and Paul Orndorff. So now, they're at each other's throats, and they're doing this whole loser leaves WCW. And by the way, Foley, Cactus Jack's got 1 foot out of the door in WCW. We'll get to more later on after this match. So the match itself, some people give it 2 stars. It's debatable. For me, I give it 3.5. I don't do match star ratings, but the match was good. It was short. I think it's the second shortest match of the night. I'll get to one match next, but for 6 minutes 8 seconds, they made the most for 6 minutes. It was a good fun match, a good fun brawl. Cactus Jack, Mick Foley took some nasty bumps. They kind of exposed, they kind of removed the padding at ringside. Foley was going for his, I think he was going for his trademark Cactus elbow, but instead, he had Dave Sullivan. Dave Sullivan, he's doing the dyslexic gimmick. He's very dyslexic. Calling him Kevin Sullivan E-Bad. I think he called Cactus Jack Sustak. If I compare Dave Sullivan to one wrestler, I compare him to Eugene, Nick Desmond. They both have similar gimmicks. Both, you can say, mentally challenged, but it's just what it is. In storyline, Kevin Sullivan's pissed off at Dave because he's a fan of Hulk Hogan. Anyway, so yeah, Sullivan was helping. I'm talking about Dave's helping his kayfabe brother Kevin held it. He had one more in the match. He grabbed Cactus' legs, and Kevin Sullivan he kind of throwed Cactus Jack off the ring apron and thrown him onto the exposed floor. He took some nasty bumps. Back body. He did a suplex, a normal suplex onto, or what's it? Yes, not a suplex, but a body, some kind of slam onto the exposed floor. Anyway, so in the end, one more match, Foley was going to hit Sullivan with the chair. Dave Sullivan stopped him. The end of this match, you had Kevin Sullivan trying to hit Cactus Jack with the chair. Dave stopped him, and then he took the bullet. You had Cactus kind of pushed him off the ring apron. Kevin Sullivan rolled up Cactus Jack for the win, and Cactus Jack has lost this match, and he's leaving WCW. So it's a way to rid off Cactus Jack, Mick Foley out of the company, because like I said, Mick Foley got really one foot out of the door, because this was after his feud with Vader came to an end. The most famous match he had against Vader was in Germany when Mick Foley lost his ear. But he said in his book that they really dropped the ball. He kind of butt heads with Bischoff because he was the vice president of WCW at the time. He kind of butt heads with Bischoff that they didn't do something built around the rivalry between him and Vader. So I don't know. I haven't got his book, but I do more research on this pay-per-view before I record this pay-per-view on this channel. But yeah, something about didn't revolve around this feud between Vader and himself after they had many of wars. They started this feud in 1993, going into the other parts of 1994. But anyways, this was Cactus Jack's final pay-per-view appearance for the company. He ended up going to Japan, New Japan, ECW, then he ended up going to the WWF in 1996 as Mankind, and the rest itself is history. So moving on to the next match. So the next match, this is for the United States Championship. Originally it was supposed to be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat defending the United States title against Stunning Steve Austin. But on this show, Steamboat faking the United States title because they kind of feud over the United States title in the summer. And now, I think it was at Clash of the Champions, he had Steamboat injured his back, and that injury is career ending, so he came out wearing his street clothes, holding the United States title belt. So the commissioner in WCW at the time, Nick Bockwinkel, awarded the United States title to Steve Austin. So basically it was 1-1 in the series of matches of this rivalry between Austin and Steamboat. I'm guessing Austin won the battle and the war because, he's won the United States title by default. So he kind of glowed and kind of called Steamboat an Hawaiian punk. And then you got Nick Bockwinkel forming Austin. He's going to defend the United States title tonight against a mysterious opponent. And that mysterious opponent is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh boy. I call it the worst match of the night, but it's the shortest match of the night. It's only lasts about 35 seconds. It's basically a segment disguised as a match. That's how I describe it for it. So, Austin trying to get out of the ring. Bockwinkel stopped him. You had Duggan hit Austin with a back body drop and a splash for the win. Jim Duggan, in his first pay-per-view match in the company, won the United States title. I think it's his first major championship in a major company. Yeah, he won championship outside of the two major companies he worked with. That was the WWF and WCW. Actually, he didn't win titles in WWF. He was the first ever winner of the Royal Rumble. I think he didn't really win King of the Ring. He became the king. Being Haku, but I don't really count that as a major title. But this is his first championship in a major company for Duggan, and he ended up becoming the final TV champion in WCW 6 years later in the year 2000. But wow, why Jim Duggan? And also this is Austin's final. I'm guessing this is Austin. Actually, to be honest, Austin had one more match. I think he lost the rematch to Duggan the following month at Halloween Havoc, and that was the beginning of the end of Steve Austin's time in WCW. I heard it said Bischoff, it was his idea to have Austin dropping the belt to Duggan, because at the time Austin was the popular character. And I think Austin said, like, he kind of, like, pitched the whole idea to, to Bischoff, that he wants to be related, do a storyline with Hulk Hogan, to be related to Hulk Hogan, but Bischoff denied it. He kind of turned it down because Hogan didn't want to work with an unpopular, like, unproven name like Austin. So yeah, it was the beginning of the end of stunning Steve Austin's time in WCW. Oh boy, so yeah, you know, the start of 1995, that was really his final year in the company. He ended up, like I say, he ended up losing the rematch to Jim Duggan at Halloween Havoc, and then the start of 1995, he injured his knee. Then months later in Japan, he torn his tricep, and then in September of that year, Bischoff fired him because he's not a remarkable name. And that was the reason why Austin really despised Bischoff. And it is funny that they end up working together a decade later in WWE, when both of them were the co-Raw GMs. Yeah, they really dropped the ball on Steve Austin, you know. It's funny comparing this match to Cactus Jack and Kevin Sullivan. Both guys, you know, both Cactus Jack, you know, Mick Foley and Steve Austin, at the time they were in their late 20s, early 30s, basically not jobbing, but kind of like losing to guys who's about in their 40s, you know. It's just like, you know, both like in the, just like 40, 41, something like that, you know. It's just like, you know, with Austin was the rising star, you know. Like, don't, like, give a fuck about Jim Duggan. No disrespect there's some people who kind of grew up watching Jim Duggan. No disrespect, but just, like, Jim Duggan, like, he's not probably... With guys holding the United States title in that company, you see guys like Ric Flair and Sting and Scott Steiner, Booker T, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Diamond Dallas Page. People don't talk about Hacksaw Jim Duggan as the United States champion. He's one of the most forgettable US champions in the company's history. God, if it was Brian Pillman, even though they, you know, it's really, Austin was a rising star. He was in the company, 1991, 1991. He was part of the Dangerous Alliance. He teamed up with Brian Pillman, the Hollywood Blondes, rising star. This United States title, he should really retain it on the show. That probably, it'd be a short match, but at least Austin leave, you know, and give him like a decent run with the belt. But no, like if it was Brian Pillman, even though they had that rivalry, you know, in '93, you know, the Hollywood Blondes exploded, but at least it'd be way better than Jim Duggan. You know, his title run was forgettable. He ended up dropping the belt to, I think it was Vader at Starrcade at the end of the year. So what's the point? So yeah, Austin ended up like going to ECW, become superstar Steve Austin, slowly developing the Stone Cold Steve Austin gimmick. You know, doing these shooting promos towards Bischoff, dressing up like Bischoff, dressing up like Hulk Hogan. They said it was Bischoff's idea was because this is influenced by Hulk Hogan. This was the start of the Hulk Hogan era in WCW. And it's funny, like, TNA got a lot of shtick. This is 10 years ago. I'm talking about what I'm saying in the current timeline. 10 years ago, TNA got a lot of shtick. The original TNA got a lot of shtick of pushing the ex-WWE guys and neglecting the homegrown talent. WCW was doing the same thing. I feel like they're neglecting the homegrown talent, phasing out the homegrown talent, and pushing the ex-WWF guys, you know. At the start of this era, you know, when Hogan came along, he's slowly bringing his friends to the WWF, to WCW, and people don't want to see that. That's a lot to talk about. I don't want to talk about in this video, otherwise it's far too long. So yeah, it's a really sad way for both Foley and Austin. You know, even Austin, like Foley, they both go to ECW. Austin ended up going to the WWF in 1996, and he ended up becoming the megastar, and the rest of his history. So at least Austin became, you know, I think with WWF he kind of capitalized what WCW want to do. WCW dropped the ball, WWF pick up the ball and made Austin a big star. So it's just what it is. So that's my 2 cents on it. So anyway, so yeah, and with Steamboat, he end up next time Steamboat will wrestle again will be 15 years later in 2009 against Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 25 and Backlash. And he recently, I never knew this, he wrestled in 2022, teaming up with, I think it was an indie show, teaming up with FTR. So he got really a happily ever after. So it's not like doom and gloom. At least, with Steamboat's career kind of going out with a bang. So anyway, let's move on to the next match. So the next match, this is for the anyway, yeah, I'm trying to click the Halloween Havoc Wikipedia page. Anyway, so the next match, this is for the WCW Tag Team Championships. The Pretty Wonderfuls, Paul Orndorff and Paul Roma defending the belts against Stars and Stripes. That is Marcus Alexander Bagwell, aka Buff Bagwell, and the Patriot. The Patriot is Del Wilkes. This is their first title defense on pay-per-view since they won the belts at Bash of the Beach. For Marcus Alexander Bagwell, he was teaming up with Too Cool Scorpio. I'm guessing Too Cool Scorpio I think he ended up going to WCW. He ended up going to the WWF, in '95 as Flash Funk, or maybe the other thing around. I'm not too sure. So anyway, he ended up teaming up with Del Wilkes, aka the Patriot, to form Stars and Stripes. Anyway, so before that, you had it's funny, like you had Doug and Hogan both. It's funny, like with Bagwell and the Patriot, they dress up like the American colors. Jim Duggan, he's supposed to be good old USA, missed an opportunity to add, to put, he's Mr. USA. I wish he had the American flag on his shorts instead of generic blue. It's just what it is. So anyway, so Paul Orndorff, he's wearing the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator glasses. That was cool. Anyway, so this match was good. It was a good back and forth match between both tag teams. I found it a little bit boring, but they didn't really shit the bed. They didn't really shit the bed on it. They told a good story. I'm trying to keep it short and simple, folks. So in the end, you had Del Wilkes, the Patriot, tag in. The referee did not see the hot tag. He's cleaning house. So in the end, Paul Orndorff hit the power driver onto Bagwell. It's funny, like he ended up injured his neck years later. Anyway, so Paul Orndorff, I think he had not Orndorff, Roma. My apologies. It's been a few days since I watched the show, but anyway, so Roma pins. That's Bagwell, not Patriot actually. Pins Patriot. He pins Bagwell. Patriot's trying to break up the pin. He was a bit too late. So the Pretty Wonderfuls won this match and retained the tag team title. So it's not like a 4-star classic. I give it a decent, good tag team match. I didn't enjoy for most of it. So it's way better than the last match. It was just a short match. Between Austin and Duggan. This match is technically the match of the night. This is a triangle elimination match. Winner becomes the number one contender for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. So we got Sting, the Guardian Angel, aka the former Big Boss Man. He was the boss in WCW for a little bit before they kind of changed his gimmick because WCW got thrown a lawsuit by the WWF because his gimmick was similar to the Big Boss Man gimmick. But so anyway, and Vader, Originally, it was I've done more research about this show. Originally, it was supposed to be Flair was supposed to be in this match, but unfortunately, he was taken out of this match. So before we get to this triangle match, Hogan and Flair was not on this show. They had this segment after this match. They're both calling. Hogan was in the gym. Fans were booing Hogan because he got booed. Funny. Hogan, I think in the early years of Hogan's time in WCW, before when he turned black and yellow, before he formed in the NWO, but in 94, 95, and early parts of 1996, before he became Hollywood Hulk Hogan, the fans, I'm guessing, booing Hogan because, for one, he kind of represent the cartoonish side of professional wrestling, you know. I think at this moment in time, I think WCW is kind of like alienating the viewership, the fans, you know. They don't want to see WWF, you know. If they want to watch WWF, they watch WWF. They want the alternative to WWF, you know. And this is the reason why, in the certain time period, you know, Hogan's bringing his friends from the WWF to WCW, with Bossman was like Bossman, Duggan. Like at the end of the year, they brought Randy Savage, you know. They're trying to recapture Hogan's time in WWF in WCW, and I don't want to get into that. So anyway, you know, in Bash at the Beach, you know, he had that match against Ric Flair for the WCW World Heavyweight title. He won it in his first pay-per-view match. Then at Clash of the Champions in September, Hogan got his leg attacked by a mysterious guy wearing a black mask. So Flair won the rematch, you know. I don't know if that's for the championship, you know. So, and as a result, Flair got suspended, you know. I'm guessing he has a part of Hogan got his knee attacked by the mysterious man. So Flair ended up like going to Las Vegas. They're trying to remake the whole real world title angle in WCW. WWF did it, you know, when Flair left WCW in 1991. I don't want to get into that. So he kind of dubbed himself as the real world champion. He's retired in kayfabe. So you had Flair in Las Vegas. You had Hogan in his gym in Florida, and Hogan challenging one more match, you know, for the championship, you know, in a retirement match. You know, if I win, brother, I'll leave. So Flair accepted, he accepted the challenge. So this set up the next month's pay-per-view at Halloween Havoc. You know, spoiler alert: Hogan wins this match. Flair's retired in kayfabe. He came back at uncensored the following year, so it's just nothing new. But yeah, it's just what it is. The segment itself, it was good, but it was too long. Actually, I'm not gonna put it. I'm not gonna put. Actually, I'm not gonna put it in my overall rating at the end of this review. So it's just like it was good, but yeah, I think it's just better off saving it on on weekly TV, not on the pay-per-view at the time you spend a lot of money. So anyway, let's get back to this match, the Triangle Elimination match. You know, Vader, Sting, Guardian Angel, aka the former known as the Big Boss Man. So both Guardian Angel and Sting had history with Vader. They've been feuding with Vader for Sting. I think he fought against Vader 1992, 1993. Guardian Angel been feuding with Vader for months now. So they both had history. So this is unusual. It is a triple threat match, but it's not like the triple threat match you see in today's wrestling landscape. You know, 3 guys fight in the ring. No, they did like in this match. It's a toss of the coin, who faced first. It's in a gauntlet format. So Sting got a bye. He'll face the winner of this match. So anyway, the first half of this triangle match between Vader and Guardian Angel was good. I think I'm really shocked. I thought this is a board fest. It wasn't. I really enjoyed this match. It was a good back and forth between Vader and Guardian Angel. Good chemistry between Vader and Ray Trailer, aka Guardian Angel, Big Bobby Rogers, Big Boss Man, whatever you call him. So good back and forth match. In the end, I think there was a referee bump. Harley Race, who's Vader's manager at the time, hit Guardian Angel with the headbutt, the diving headbutt, and Vader hit the Vader bomb onto Guardian Angel to win this match and advance to the second half of this Triangle Gauntlet match to face Sting. I think the Sting Vader match, I think it's like that's one of the reasons why this match is match of the night. It is, I think they're also good chemistry. Because between Guardian Angel's Vader and Vader's Sting, Guardian Angel and Vader, this is just big guys fighting, a big horse fight. For this is agility versus strength. Sting is speed and agility, and Vader is all strength. Also they got also good chemistry because Vader and Sting fought for 2 years now. They fought over the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. I think they fought over the International Championship. So they had history. So it's a good back and forth match between Sting and Vader. They took it all. They took it to the distance, And also the rules of this match, I think it was about 15 minutes. So if it's no winner after 15 minutes, it goes into overtime. It was 5 minutes, the overtime, and then if that overtime expires after 5 minutes, it goes to serve of death. So it's the same scenario as the Iron Man match. If no winner after like 30, 45, or 1 hour, it goes to overtime. So I'm guessing it's in the same scenario. But some people find it boring. I think it's a little bit boring. I checked it's 30 minutes. So, but I was kind of get bored of this match. But besides that, it was really good between Vader and Sting, back and forth. Over it. I think Sting kicked out of the Vader bomb. I don't think Sting hit I think he hit the splash. Did it hit the Scorpion Deathlock? It's been a lot. Yeah, I didn't see the most of the match. I seen most of it. Some of it's kind of a bit boring. Sometimes I got a bit of a short attention span. So I didn't say I don't like it. I like it, but it got a little boring in some moments of the match. Like I said, so the ending is a bit bullshit. A bit so. You got this mysterious guy wearing black. Came out, smacked Sting. I'm guessing with a crowbar it was a cobra. No, he's not Santino Moran, man. I think it was a cobra. I think it was a bar. Crowbar. Yeah, crowbar. I'm trying to get my words out. I'm speaking too fast, by the way. But yeah, this mysterious person hit Sting with a crowbar. Or what kind of this is WCW. They called the foreign object the international object. So I don't know. Sting selling like he got shot in the leg. Vader, I'm guessing, won this match by default, so Vader became the #1 contender for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. So, yeah, the end is a bit so-and-so. Like, they're having a good match, and then this guy hitting Sting with, it looks like a crowbar, I can't call him say a cobra, he's not Santino Morel, doing the cobra and paralyzed Sting, it's a cobra. Sorry, I speak too fast, man. Can't pronounce my words, but when I'm speaking too fast. But anyway, so Vader won this match. I think it's for the best. I'm gonna say about Vader, he's the Iron Man in this match. He kind of like went the whole distance against Big Boss Man and Sting. I think the right person won. He's supposed to face the world champion at Halloween Havoc, but instead they've gone with Hogan and Flair in the retirement steel cage match. I think they almost tried it again at Starrcade at the end of the year, but instead they have to go with Hogan taking on his best friend, the Butcher. That's Bruce Beefcake. Vader went on to feud with Hogan in 1995. Started at Super Brawl. And they had the rubber match at Bash of the Beach the following year. So yeah, it's just what it is. I don't want to get into that. So yeah, this is match of the night. Go and check it out. The Vader versus Guardian Angel match, and Vader versus Sting. So moving on to the main event. We got the War Games match. Team Rhodes, I call him. Yeah, that's the team of Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, Dusty Rhodes. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, his son Dustin Rhodes, aka the future Goldust, and the Nasty Boys, Brian Knobbs and Jerry Saggs, taking on the Stubbs Stable. That's the team of Terry Funk, Arn Anderson, Bunkhouse Buck, and Colonel Robert Parker. Originally Meng was supposed to be in this match, so they're playing Robert Parker. So basically, I'm guessing this is the blow off to Dustin's feud with the Stud Stable. The feud for months now. Then they decided to do this War Games match. You had this segment. I think it was on Saturday Night Main Event. It's on weekly TV, by the way, of Dusty Rhodes. Cut his the View Would Never Change promo, because in that promo it says, I lived my dream, neglected you as a kid. Anyway, they kind of bury the hatchet, between both father and son. Dusty kind of trying to recruit Arn Anderson to the team, but instead, you had Arn Anderson turn on Dusty Rhodes to align himself with the Stud Stable because he's a former horseman, Arn Anderson, because Dusty Rhodes fought against Ric Flair in the 80s, Terry Funk came back to WCW because he had a run in ECW. He was the ECW World Heavyweight Champion. He came back part of the Stud Stable, first time in years, since his feud with Ric Flair came to the end. That was in 1989. He came back years later. Dusty Rhodes recruit the Nasty Boys. That's Jerry Sags and Brian Knox. It was in the strip bar, and I don't understand why they had Colonel Rob Parker in this match. I've done my research. He did wrestle as a wrestler. I'm talking about Robert Parker. He ended up becoming Tennessee Lee in the WWF years later with Jeff Jarrett. With Robert Welch, that's his real name. He kind of wrestled in the he debuted as a wrestler in 1970, so it's nothing new. He wrestled in the 70s. It's nothing new. I think he retired years later as a manager. So I'd rather have Mang, but it's just what it is. So the match itself, some people give three stars. I don't know why I give 3 stars. I give it 2 stars, to be honest. Is it a great War Games match? No. Is it a terrible match? Not really. It was just forgettable. I think it was a little bit forgettable. It's just what it is, man. I don't it's not a great match. It's just it's just an okay War Games match. There've been better ones before and after this, but this just is. It's not really a barn burner, This was Dusty's first match in the company for years, he had he left in 1990, goes to the WWF, came back in WCW in 1991, so his first match in years. And fun fact, War Games was created by Dusty Rhodes. He's a pioneer. I think he created War Games, he created Starrcade, he created Lethal Lockdown in TNA, so he created some good matches and shows, I think he created the Great American Bash as well. So yeah, he's a fucking pioneer, man. Jesus Christ, man. But he was the last person out, The core inclusion, you had Robert Parker taking the beating, and some fun spots in this match, you had I think it was in the beginning match of this War Games match between Dusty and Arn, you had I think you had Dusty not Dusty, Dustin. Sorry, they both got similar names, Dustin and Dusty, man. It's getting confusing, but anyway, so Dustin kind of sticking Arn's head through the wedges of the 2 rings of this match. It's kind of funny, but besides that, it's just basically punch. It's funny, there's no weapons in this match. That's kind of if they had, I think they should have weapons, to be honest, to make it good. But this is a bit forgettable. There's no blood, no weapons. It's just what it is. I'm not saying it's a terrible match, but it's just not an all-time classic. So, in the end, you had the babyface team beating down Robert Parker. I think it was Dustin or Dusty locking the figure 4 leg lock onto Colonel Robert Parker. And the rules of this match, all team, you had it's you got one team, two wrestlers in 2 teams start out this match, and then once every 2 minutes, toss the coin. Who's coming up first for both teams is the babyface team or the heel team. So the match ends with all 8 guys in the ring. You got to win by basically submission or tapping out, submit and giving up, something like that. Not pinfall submission. You basically have to submit or give up. I wish they just did pinfall submission. That'd be more better than just give up or submit. It's just similar. It's just still the same. That's just me. That's my nitpick about it. But anyway, so Dustin or Dusty locking the figure 4 leg lock onto Colonel Rob Parker. and the babyface team wins. It's funny, I done my research, the Nasty Boys entered this match, before this, they were entered as heels, now they're babyface now. I think it's for the best, man. I think, you got to turn that character babyface or heel some other time, you can't keep him for the rest of the time. If you do that all the time, you get stale, you got to do things, man. It's just what it is. But anyway, it's a good way to end the show and end the rivalry between Dustin Rhodes' rivalry with the with the Stud Stable. I forgot to mention this. Some parts of the show you got Barry Darcel, that's Demolition Axel Smash. I think it's Smash. And also the former Repo Man. He came out as the Blackfoot Bully. He kind of like was gate crashing, heckle. I'm guessing he's making his appearance in this company. He ended up leaving WCW. He ended up coming back years later, but he got fired in 1995. You had the infamous King of the Road match and Uncensored. Go and check out my review of Uncensored 90. My overall rating of Fall Brawl 1994. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. A decent fun show. The only thing I put in the okay is the main event, the War Games match. Not an all-time classic War Games match, but it wasn't a bad match to shit the bed, but yeah, it was an okay main event to end the show. The things I put in the good for me is the TV title match, the tag team title match, the Catless Jack, Kevin Sullivan, loser leaves WCW match was short, but it was a fun brawl. And the Triangle Gauntlet match was the match of the night. The only thing I put in the bad was the United States title match between Steve Austin versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan. It was a very short match, but yeah, Jim Duggan as United States champion on his first pay-per-view match in the company. Yeah, it was a stinker, and that was the beginning of the end of Austin's time in the company. Yeah, they had no choice because Steamboat was retired, so you gotta find a replacement. But I was about to leave out this, but I'm gonna put the Hogan Flair segment as a bad. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't. It's just basically killed a lot of time on pay-per-view. They should have saved it on weekly TV, but yeah, it's just set up the steel cage retirement match at Halloween Havoc, so it's just what it is. But besides that, Fall Brawl 1994 was a good show. I advise you to watch the show, I advise you to watch the Triangle Gauntlet match, on that show. So, what's your thoughts on Fall Brawl 1994? What do you think about this video? Do you like it? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button, click the like, click the bell. Subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. Next time, the next video, October is just around the corner. I'm going to review one more Fall Brawl pay-per-view before we move on to Halloween Havoc shows. Let's travel 4 years into the future to the year of 1998 in WCW. Yeah, like this Fall Brawl, wow. For many fans, they consider it one of the worst War Games matches of all time. And also, we got a trapdoor that a wrestler injured his back, Yeah, I'm reviewing Fall Brawl 1998. Until then, this is the Central Man officially signing out. Check you later, folks.